The man who conducts KG Subramanyan on his voyage down the memory lane in Mahi is Professor Damodaran Palleri, a student of Subramanyan's elder brother.
60 വർഷം മുമ്പ് ഞങ്ങൾ ഇവിടെ
1948.
maybe up to. I left in 1944.
A confluence of the young and the old, a warm reception accorded to KG Subramanyan to commemorate the visit of this old son of Mahi.
That's the house. We had a person here whom people said he had a kind of an eye that if he start to comment on something, that tree will fall. And tree fell like that.
It's called Malayalam pottikan. Pottikan. That is, if you say something about that, you fall.
That was there. Further away, there used to be a house in which there was a man who was slightly off his head. He used to walk with a beetle leaf on his head. And his son Gopalan had gone to Paris, France. So he used to always miss him. So then he used to read the papers that during the war there was a French general called Gamelin. So he said, Gopalin should be Gamelin. He's still alive there. That house.
That is where the tree fell.
In front of it there was a tree which fell. We stayed in that house near the Parimadam temple. It was located very close to a Sarpakav. We had a house which was thatch covered and near a Sarpakav. And I remember that when you walked out, you could see all kinds of serpents moving around the place. But in those days, we were not terribly scared of serpents. And particularly so because the serpents occasionally could be seen in the roof of our own house. I remember mother had seen a sort of a yellow cobra going through the rafters and she thought it was very lucky. അവിടെ ആയിരുന്നു സർപ്പക്കാവല്ലേ?
അല്ലല്ല, ഇതാ
ഇതെല്ലാം പുതുക്കി പഴയ തറയിലും പുതുക്കി
ആ സമയത്ത് ഇതൊക്കെ ഇവിടെ ഒന്നും വീടൊന്നുമില്ല. Really speaking, it was high up there.
that place.
But now they have made it here and probably done away with all the serpents. We had in Mahi one man called Turki. He used to be called Turki. He was a very well-built man and they thought he was a Turk. And he used to stay in one of the houses here. And he had married a Muslim woman as his wife, or he lived with a Muslim woman. We all noticed him because he was very hefty and had a lot of physical power. He used to swim against the current up the Mahi river for a long mile and a half and then come back and do that. So we were all wondering Turkey should be a sort of special kind of he came from Turkey, far away, very well built. After some time suddenly Turkey died. Then finally it came out he was a British agent who was staying here. Now, you see, I mean, when you live in a place like Mahi, you have all such characters moving around. If Mukundan writes an interesting story about it, I can quite see that there is enough material here to do all that. അത് ടച്ച് ചെയ്താൽ വാല്യൂ കുറഞ്ഞു. For me, handicraft and handloom practice is a cultural asset. That a skilled man is producing goods for the functional market, but if he is good enough, he becomes very close to an artist. I mean, he is producing goods which are artistically rewarding. And there should be a ladder of progression from normal skills to the more sophisticated skills. So it had to be protected, it had to be directed and kept ready for the market, and the market should be educated that if they sort of patronize them, their whole life system will be better. The craft thing is in this way. Art is when you sort of conceive an object and produce it and you put your whole way into it. The question of craft comes when that thing is repeated for the market for commercial purposes. And in that repetition, sometimes a new form emerges, sometimes it doesn't. I mean, that's a different matter. But then it has nothing to do with the practice. It is the usage of the commodity that makes it a craft or art. But the practice, what a craftsman does and the art does, is how to build all his faculties together and make a sort of a creative object. That is where, when I am talking about tradition, this is this. So there might be a certain level at which craft is flourishing, but a craftsman's contact with art, and if his work is fertilized by it, then he becomes a great artist. Similarly, the other way around. And all our traditions have moved and changed from one thing to the other because of that interaction. Now, when we cut this away, then this is the The need is for you to think of your own country, or not necessarily the nationality. I mean, country means your surroundings, your sort of system, your needs. And then if you come out with a formulation, then others will react to it. Why do you need a man from France or Italy to enunciate a thing and you react to it? Why can't you make a formulation which they will react to? Has this ever happened? That is why I say this is the whole thing. You formulate your own thing, then people will find if it is acceptable. And this has been so when Indian intellectuals were really strong. But I'll tell you one thing. The Kerala people, they are not alone in this. All over India, people have been changing in their dress, drawers and tops. The one thing that the Kerala people haven't changed is that they are terribly parochial. To go into a mandir, you have to take your clothes off. If God has eyes, he always sees you without clothes off. So why do you...
I think you have something else to ask. You were
Yeah, I was actually this is a continuation of kind of talk we have been having here. Because I studied in MSc and I came back. So when I came back, all the people here still they ask me why don't you go back and settle somewhere. So when I read Diego Rivera, I just read his biography. So he has made a very important statement after visiting Europe and traveling among all the European artists. So he went back to Mexico and then he made this statement like the very local is very international. So I found it very sensible in one way. So what do you think about?
No, I mean that is something I have been writing about all the while. and not saying the international thing. You see, what an artist or a sort of a person in a culture has to be, his roots have to be into the soil and his branches has to be in the air. So that is where the internationalism is, and this is where that is quite true. But then, don't think the roots in India is always in Kerala.
Of course.
The India is a big place. So the roots can grow through in various places. And it was true here too. After all, in all your temples, Gita Govinda is being recited. Who wrote it? Not a Kerala man, but a man from Odisha. So, really speaking, it doesn't mean that you have to be confined to one little place. But then I do agree with you that the roots have to be in the soil where you are, while you have to grow out of it to reach the skies where your internationalism comes. That's the
You have been working in various places in India and working and living in various places in India all these years. And of course, within Kerala itself, I mean, you have many places. You know, you lived in Kalpati, you lived in 2 parts of Mahi. I would like, what influences do you have of these places?
I don't know, and I don't care to know. In fact, if you are in places and it has any influence on you, it should not be strictly visible. I mean, it should come through. I mean, it's like if you plant a tree somewhere and you water it and it goes up. I mean, maybe a certain botanist might like to analyze what goes to its growth, whether it is the water or the soil or the manure or things of that kind. I can understand. So similarly, if there is an artist or a writer, if he is too self-conscious and want to say, I get it from there, I get it from there. No artist can talk about his own work, especially an artist like me. That is why at one time when people asked me about what do I say, so I sort of took the image of Bahurupi. All over India, people certain caste collect money by dressing themselves up in mythological characters. That is, somebody goes around like Hanuman, or a group of people go as sort of a Ram or Lakshman. This is common all over, and Middle India, Northern India, and probably even in the South. Bahurupi. Now, a Bahurupi, when he dresses up, he is half himself and half the mythological character. He is not fully the mythological character like on the Tamil drama stage. But he is half himself, he doesn't dress himself completely. But so, most of our works are of that kind. It is Bahurupi. It has so many implications which come around while you are doing it. And then, of course, people can put more implications into it if they want. And then, yeah. So that is why it is very difficult to explain why or wherefore of a work of art. But it is, I mean, whatever I do is largely legible, so people should be able to know what it is. If there is any kind of people who have influenced me, that was, as far as the art and the art thinking goes, they are the people I met in Shantiniketan. So I was saying that the people you meet at one time, some of them, they reincarnate in your mind all the time. And sometimes probably they are not really they. I mean, they are like the Dronacharya figure before Eklavya. I mean, you make a sort of master figure, and that master figure sort of motivates you to think afresh. In that way, if you have to think in terms of the people who have influenced me, it is these 3 or 4 people. So, whether that influence directly comes from them or not, I can't say. Maybe there are many things in Tagore which I might not have reacted to. But then Tagore is a total figure, and the way he thought about various things altogether, and he thought in terms of an environment in which his literature or art could really blossom forth. That's a great thing. Not many people think about it. And so was the case with Nandalal Bose. So that is the A, and I still will stand with them if there is any.